From virtually nothing, FTX rose to stand at the very top of the crypto world. Traders, celebrities, and businesses rallied behind the man seemingly at the center of it all, Sam Bankman-Fried, who had an estimated net worth of $26 billion in 2022 at only 30 years old. But behind their unprecedented rise was their jaw-dropping fall. Virtually overnight, and dragging over 130 affiliated companies along with more than 1 million individual investors. So, how did this happen? And how was Sam Bankman-Fried able to commit one of the biggest frauds in the cryptocurrency industry? Stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe, and prepare to be intrigued as we unravel this story. To begin the story, we'll start with Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried was born on the 28th of February 1992 in California to parents Barbara Fried and Joseph Bankman. Growing up, Sam's life seemed like that of any ordinary kid. Sam would go on to later graduate from Massachusetts Institute of Technology or MIT with a degree in physics and a minor in mathematics. Sam would get his first work experience in 2013 in Jane Street Capital, a trading firm specialized in international exchange-traded funds. He became a full-time trader after he graduated from MIT in 2014. His experience in Jane Street Capital would be the catalyst of him leaving the company and establishing his very own company called Alameda Research in 2017, an investment firm made up of mostly his buddies from MIT and Jane Street Capital specializing in cryptocurrency. Alameda profited in utilizing algorithm-based trading strategies, along with data analytics and other advanced trading techniques. Alameda took advantage of discrepancies and market inefficiencies in the cyberspace of cryptocurrency. In hindsight, Alameda seemed to be a solid company with over $55 million in assets under management, along with its unique business strategy. Alameda Research was able to secure its success by arbitraging cryptocurrency, where even Bankman-Fried publicly advertised that they were able to make $3 to $4 million every day. This eventually became the platform for Sam and 10 others in his inner circle from both MIT and Jane Street Capital to establish FTX Trading Ltd, or FTX, short for Futures Exchange, in May of 2019. They operated within a compound in the Bahamas where they would control the soon-to-be empire of Sam Bankman-Fried. And this was just the beginning. Within the span of 2 years, FTX rapidly dominated the market and expanded their products and services. With only around 100 employees, it now included crypto derivatives, options, volatility products, tokenized stocks, prediction markets, leveraged tokens, OTC, and pre-IPO tokenized stocks that catered to a variety of traders. Bankman-Fried saw this as an opportunity to aggressively market himself and FTX, both to his colleagues at Alameda and into the world. He first established how trustworthy and reliable he was through an image centered on effective altruism, helping and uplifting others and using what power and influence he has to make an impact. To do this, he was able to tie FTX to his name and get major endorsements from key figures. Celebrities like Gisele Bündchen, Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary, Larry David, and famous athletes such as Stephen Curry, Naomi Osaka, and David Ortiz were some of the many names that vouched for FTX. Interestingly, most of these names were no crypto experts, like how Steph Curry stated in an FTX ad, "I'm no expert, but I don't have to be." And this was the hallmark of FTX that was given legitimacy by these influential people who lent their credibility to Sam and to FTX. And this was all that was needed to ensure FTX's success: legitimacy and accessibility. Hundreds of thousands of users flocked to the app to trade and were soon immersed in FTX's token FTT, until they finally peaked with around 1 million users. They were soon able to put FTX's branding everywhere, from the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team to a partnership with the World Economic Forum, and even slowly wielding political influence through its involvement with Ukraine and donation to the current US President Joe Biden with $5.2 million. Amongst other political donations, both Republican and Democratic. From his origins in California to his move to the Bahamas and becoming the cryptocurrency poster boy, it was undeniable that by July 2021, Sam Bankman-Fried was one of the most successful people in the world with an estimated net worth of $26 billion. Seemingly gaining both credibility and profitability, it didn't take much for other ventures to rally support for FTX. In December of 2019, crypto exchange colossus Binance put its own stakes in FTX, investing an undisclosed amount that would help boost the growth of FTX with a strategic advisory and backing from Binance, while allowing FTX to maintain its independence. Binance would later be one of the key figures in bringing down the Sam Bankman-Fried empire when things start to go awry. In the intricate web of cryptocurrency, several companies found themselves entwined with the colossal exchange FTX. These affiliations brought both opportunities and, in some cases, unforeseen challenges that rippled through the crypto landscape. In July of 2022, they extended a lifeline to BlockFi in the form of a generous $400 million revolving credit facility. This financial support came with an intriguing option. FTX had the right to acquire BlockFi, a deal that could amount to a staggering $240 million. FTX was also able to extend a hand to other ventures such as Galois Capital, Genesis Trading, Galaxy Digital, Multicoin Capital, and Voyager Digital. As operations of FTX grew up to $32 billion, the people and affiliations that it had liabilities to grew as well. Little did they know that this partnership with FTX was only the beginning of something more sinister in the horizon: FTX's downfall. While millions around the globe were intrigued by the FTX operation run by Sam Bankman-Fried and his associates, there were no doubt telltale signs about its obscurity behind the scenes. And while cryptocurrency and hedge funds in general contain a fairly large amount of risk to its customers and its ecosystem, the very foundation of FTX seemed to be unstable as well. If you recall, the sister company of FTX, Alameda Research's inner circle, was made up of Sam's previous co-workers in Jane Street Capital and some of his friends from MIT. One of the prominent names within this circle was Carolyn Ellison, the CEO of Alameda Research and Sam's ex-girlfriend. Ellison admitted that she wasn't so sure if she was suited or capable to run the operation, but she did it anyway. Ellison would then go into different interviews churning out statements that did not really inspire confidence from viewers and silent spectators alike. This was just one of the many red flags that Ellison had amongst controversial takes and beliefs. While there are people in the FTX and Alameda circle who seem to have credibility like Constance Wong, the ex-chief operating officer of FTX, this was outweighed by the lack of expertise of relatively new traders at the helm of Alameda. Alameda Research's involvement is a key factor in FTX's demise because these two ventures have a symbiotic relationship to help one another, and this would mean that at some point, their resources are bound to affect one another. But more than shaky foundations and shady operations, how exactly did FTX suffer an overnight crisis? In July 2022, central banks like the US Federal Reserve hiked up interest rates to combat hyperinflation. This meant that cryptocurrency prices dropped due to other alternative investment like bonds becoming more attractive, thus having traders move out their funds out of cryptocurrencies. This, of course, was the source of fear and uncertainties within traders dealing with FTX because they knew that high rewards like FTX actively advertised came with high risks. But external threats did not stop there. Binance's CEO Changpeng Zhao, or CZ, was watching them closely. While Bankman-Fried and Zhao's relationship started as supportive of each other, this changed when Sam actively pushed for regulation in the cryptocurrency space, something that CZ and Binance, their largest competitor, would be heavily affected with. By November of 2022, things started truly to take a turn for the worst. Coindesk.com revealed a claim that raised a lot of concern: the state of Alameda Research's balance sheet. In a private financial document reviewed by CoinDesk, it showed that Alameda's balance sheet primarily consisted of FTX assets, particularly the FTT token, which provides trading fee discounts on the FTX marketplace. While this isn't necessarily strange since they have co-ownership, it underscores the fact that Alameda Research, led by Bankman-Fried, relies heavily on a cryptocurrency created by a related company rather than an autonomous asset like traditional fiat currency or another cryptocurrency. This situation further emphasizes the exceptionally tight connections between FTX and Alameda. This would mean that most of the net equity that Alameda had was FTX's own centrally controlled and printed out of thin air token that they used to fund further loans and other transactions, an event that CZ of Binance would take advantage of. Alameda, the sister company of FTX, possessed assets valued at $14.6 billion, as detailed in the report. Notably, the trading firm's most substantial asset amounted to $3.66 billion in locked FTT, while its third largest asset was $2.16 billion in FTT collateral. With over $5 billion of the company's assets tied up in FTT, concerns about its financial stability have been raised. This was further exacerbated on the 4th of November 2022 when questions about Alameda's insolvency or inability to pay debt was made by a crypto researcher on Substack, a newsletter platform. 2 days after these revelations, and with the uncanny silence from Alameda's executives, CZ finally decided to make his move. A move that would shock the entire crypto world. Binance held about 23 million FTTs worth about $529 million in 2022. He said in a tweet that Binance would liquidate all of this due to recent revelations that came to light. A comment that he refused to elaborate on. Zhao clarified that this move was not made against anyone, but that doesn't mean that they are willing to support industry players who lobbied against them behind their backs. This move did not go unnoticed by both Bankman-Fried's side as well as the traders on the platform. On the same day, Carolyn Ellison re-entered the picture, trying to diffuse the volatility by trying to connect with Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao and giving her own statement about the state of finances of Alameda. On the 7th of November by saying that assets are fine, with a seemingly snide comment to CZ, his competitor, on how they are trying to go after FTX with false rumors. This did virtually nothing to mitigate the panic that ensued. FTX saw a steep decline of 14% on their token price in the course of a day, the lowest it has ever been since June. Alameda tried to dispel rumors by stating that over $10 billion worth of assets were not reflected in the leaked balance sheets, but this did not work as well. And this was the calm before the storm. On the 8th of November 2022, Binance announced that it would buy FTX in an attempt to rescue it. Zhao further elaborated that FTX was the first one to reach out and that they agreed to a non-binding contract to fully acquire the exchange giant. But this sentiment was revoked a day after, when Binance did its due diligence and stated that the situation is out of their control, which sent FTX into a major downward spiral. On the following days, Sam Bankman-Fried tried to come clean on how he messed up and should have done better, as he said in a tweet. And finally, on November 11, Sam Bankman-Fried's exchange giant, FTX, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, including its sister company Alameda, and Sam's resignation. The demise of the Sam Bankman-Fried empire didn't end there, because on November 12, FTX reported an alleged hack, where hackers stole a suspected amount up to $477 million. And finally, on November 18, the Bahamas took control of FTX's remaining assets that were stored there. On December 12, 2022, Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested by Bahamian authorities and was extradited to the United States. 10 days later, Bankman-Fried was released on a $250 million bond, the largest in history by a federal judge. Of course, not only Alameda and FTX was affected by this. Hundreds of affiliated businesses and exchanges like BlockFi suffered a similar consequence in the form of a very uncertain future. Some, like Galois Capital, were forced to close after losing millions over the FTX downfall. And the app users were not spared either. Over 1 million individual accounts suffered huge losses as their assets were misappropriated and used freely by Alameda Research for their failed trades and transactions. Endorsers were also under fire as they were sued for promoting the fraudulent business that FTX had done. Globally, this event devastated the cryptocurrency world, the ramifications of which are still felt to this day. The tale of FTX meteoric rise to fame and its subsequent downfall serves as a cautionary tale in the world of cryptocurrency. As we end this journey through the rise and fall of FTX, we are left with a sobering reminder of the risk and uncertainties that will always surround the cryptocurrency world. It serves as a constant thought that even the brightest and seemingly most innovative ideas can be brought down to their knees if managed poorly and dishonestly. What did you learn from the video? And how does this incident shape your view on the future of cryptocurrency and its stability as an investment? Do you think that the rapid success and expansion of FTX led to its own demise? Could a more cautious growth strategy have prevented this catastrophe? How do you view the roles of the celebrities and endorsers who promoted FTX? Do you think that they bear any responsibility in the aftermath? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. If this video has piqued your curiosity, please don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date on more captivating business narratives. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.